Good morning, everybody. It's Pam Steele, and I'm talking to you today on a lovely sunny Thursday morning, and it's the 7th of January. And I hope that over the last few days you got the sense of me trying to work out I don't know, a basis for how we're going to do these blogs this January, this lockdown. And in terms of, yes, being very aware of what's happening with us, but also knowing that we can still, whilst we're looking at some of the things I'll be talking about, we can be getting back to our healthy lifestyle, setting our routines, including doing things that we always wanted to do. So going back to a healthier lifestyle with exercise, better eating, more healthy eating, and maybe like me, some of you sort of let go a little bit over the Christmas time, and lovely it was too. So now I want to sort of look on to what effects maybe the 2020 COVID crisis, I would call it, has been and continuing, unfortunately. So I'm a trauma psychologist. I've worked for many years with trauma prior to concentrating more on resilience and giving seminars and lectures around that. But before, as I said, doing that, I had developed an expertise in trauma. There were many around the millennium, around the 2000s. There was the many rail crashes. There were the 9/11 of 2001. There was the tsunami. There was the 7/7 bombings in London. So much was going on, and this really developed this whole expertise of trauma, which was incredibly helpful for those people who either had experienced the death of a loved one during those times, or who had experienced a near-death situation. So we worked with many organisations during those times and individuals, and helped them with that. But of course, it's not just that. It's as individuals, we may lose loved ones and be dealing with grief. But if it's a sudden death, then we can be dealing with trauma as well. And then I think we've all dealt with trauma over the last year. Sadly, I've been having to look at my dad gradually getting weaker and weaker. He's 97, he's got cancer, and he's had to be living in a nursing home. And unfortunately, whilst the nursing home had a great record of no COVID, with this particularly strong strain of COVID, they now have 10 people who have it. I know how good they are at protecting the others in their home, and it hasn't affected my dad, but I feel sadness with regards to that. So yeah, let's look at trauma and some of the symptoms that we may have developed. There's a general anxiety around this whole thought of getting it. The whole lockdown has led to, obviously, we've talked about loneliness and having to work more with solitude, but also the symptoms of trauma are very much maybe losing concentration, feeling as if you're going slightly mad. I think is quite often how people explain it, in the sense that they're not being able to sleep at night. They keep dwelling on what happened and ruminating over that, and then if they have been close to that particular disaster, then avoidance, and it's very easy for us. Well, we have to avoid the situation at the moment. But it could lead on to further trauma and continued avoidance, with a general anxiety of just going outside and catching, as I said, this particular a particularly contagious form. So I still go outside and I wear my mask now, keeps me the cold away as well as the germs. But the good thing, as with the yin and the yang, with many really difficult situations, what I wrote about in this book, which I wrote in 2011 and have published, was Lived, Loved, Laughed, which you can still get on Amazon for a mere 99p to download as a Kindle form. So yeah, what I did write about was the fact that whilst helping people with their symptoms, quite often people had this existential sort of a eureka moment when they suddenly thought, well, you know, am I living the best life I can live? And, you know, what should I be doing? And a lot of people after the 7/7 decided they didn't necessarily want to live in London. It's getting a bit that way now, I guess, maybe. And yeah, so they really had an opportunity to look at their lives and look at how they could improve it. So I wrote about those quite a lot, and I will be, in a sense, rewriting this book and looking at the trauma of the whole of the COVID 2020 and now leading into 2021. And as I'll be entwining some of the stories that I had in the previous book, but also looking at stories from last year as well. And looking at how people have quite often sort of brought out the best in terms of living their lives after that, which we do call post-traumatic growth. So as I do each chapter, I shall be downloading them onto, like I did with the other book, downloading them onto my website, crisisadvice.co.uk. And until then, I will leave you with this lovely sunny day to get out and do your exercise. It's been a long time coming, maybe to go out and do a little bit of gardening, see how those lovely shoots are developing, and they're coming on in another year. So I will have one more blog this week, which is tomorrow, and then we'll be back again on Monday. So see you tomorrow. Bye.